At 6:14 local time, the first thing you hear is the alert. It slices through the cockpit with a hard, repeating tone. Sharp, unmistakable, impossible to ignore. This is not turbulence, not a routine system sound. It is a targeting warning. For 1 full second, the F-35 pilot says nothing. His right hand remains steady on the stick. His left moves across the controls with precise, minimal effort. His eyes sweep the displays once, then return outside. Spike, confirmed. No panic, no wasted movement. The jet is already over open water. A low haze sits on the horizon, while sunlight breaks across the sea in harsh silver streaks. Down below, everything looks calm. Inside the cockpit, the situation changes instantly. The sensor picture sharpens. 2 fast aircraft. Closing quickly, off the left side, angling inward. The pilot banks just enough to change the geometry without signaling urgency. The aircraft responds smoothly, almost cold in its precision. The warning tone keeps pulsing in short bursts, telling him what is happening in the sky before his eyes can fully confirm it. Control, Ghost 1. Confirm spike. 2 contacts, left side, closing fast. The answer comes back clipped and professional, already in motion. Ghost 1, control. Copy spike, stand by, track correlating. The pilot does not react with anything dramatic. He keeps the profile controlled, altitude disciplined, nose steady. Braking hard too early can create its own problem. Overreacting is a mistake. Waiting too long is also a mistake. The safe margin lies somewhere between the two, and it lasts only seconds. Then the tone shifts. A second lock, cleaner, stronger. He exhales once and checks the display. The fused picture now shows the context with more confidence. Speed, vector, behavior, not random traffic, not a routine crossing. Ghost 1, control. Correlation complete. Iranian aircraft 2 confirmed. Additional air activity possible further back. Maintain course. Monitor separation. The words land without emotion. No drama in the voice. No surprise in the cockpit. Just confirmation. The pilot rolls slightly to the right, then levels out again, denying the approaching aircraft an easy angle. He keeps the jet moving with purpose, but not escalation, forcing the geometry to stay fluid. The warning tone drops for half a beat, then returns. They are still painting him. Ghost 1 copies. 2 Iranian aircraft confirmed. Outside, one of them finally comes into view, a dark shape against the pale strip of sky. Then the outline sharpens as it closes. Fast, nose slightly offset, not a straight pass. A pressure move. The F-35 pilot follows it through the canopy frame, then flicks his attention back to the instruments. The second contact stays farther out, wider, working from a different angle. Classic 2-ship behavior. One presses, one supports. Ghost 1, you are being approached by military aircraft. Maintain safe separation. Control is now transmitting on-guard frequency, broadcasting outward. Aircraft approaching U.S. military aircraft. Maintain distance. No immediate response. The first Iranian jet moves closer. Not collision close, not yet, but close enough to make the message clear. The F-35 holds course for 1 more heartbeat, then adjusts. A small, deliberate input, just enough to preserve space without giving up position. From a distance, it would look minor. Inside the cockpit, it matters completely. Below, the sea flashes in broken sunlight as the jet banks. The warning tone pulses again. The second contact is now moving in faster than before. Control, Ghost 1. Second contact tightening. Pattern looks coordinated. Ghost 1, control. Copy coordinated behavior. Continue monitor. Do not overcommit. Picture support remains with you. Support remains with you. The pilot says nothing. He does not need reassurance, but he registers the words. Somewhere beyond visual range, the larger system is fully awake, watching, sorting, feeding the picture. He may be alone in the cockpit, but he is not alone in this moment. The first Iranian jet climbs slightly, then drifts across the F-35's forward quarter, probing for a reaction. The second stays wider, forcing the pilot to divide his attention. This is not a casual intercept. They are testing timing, spacing, and discipline. Looking for an error, looking for hesitation, looking for the smallest crack in his composure. They do not get it. The F-35 remains smooth, nose controlled, energy carefully managed. The pilot keeps every turn tight and efficient, never allowing them a clean, static line any longer than necessary. Every movement sends the same message. I see you. I am not surprised. And I am not giving you the angle you want. Then the first jet moves again, more aggressively this time. Its nose turns inward. Closure rate rises. Now it is fast enough that cockpit calculations stop being thought and become instinct. The warning tone spikes. Ghost 1, hard lock, hard lock. This time the call comes from control, sharper, more urgent. The pilot's head snaps left, then forward. His hands move in one seamless action. He changes vector, not wildly, but with sudden authority, cutting out of the geometry just as the Iranian aircraft reaches a position that feels less like intimidation and more like setup. The distance disappears. For a fraction of a second, the world narrows to breath, warning tone, and clipped radio traffic. Then another voice enters the net. Calm, unfamiliar, and perfectly timed. Ghost 1, additional friendlies moving into station. Continue. The Iranian jet checks its line. Not a retreat, not yet. But the change is there. Small, visible, undeniable. The pilot sees it. So does everyone else on the net. And then the second tone hits. Then the second tone cuts in. Sharper, cleaner, more urgent than the first. Not a leftover spike. Not interference from the previous lock. This is a new track from a different angle, arriving almost on top of the original threat line. Inside the cockpit, the pilot does not chase the sound. He reads the picture. One Iranian fighter is crossing off his forward left, checking its line after the last aggressive push. The second is no longer hanging back. It has moved in, faster, tighter, trying to take advantage of the transition. Ghost 1, control, second contact active. You have 2 threats maneuvering. Ghost 1 copies, visual on 1, looking for 2. He finds it a second later, high to the right, dropping into view. Its nose is offset just enough to stay hard to read. The geometry is shifting too quickly now for anything clean or symmetrical. That usually means one thing. Posturing is turning into pressure. The pilot keeps the F-35 smooth and disciplined, preserving energy while denying either aircraft a stable intercept path. He does not yank into a defensive break. He does not show panic. Instead, he makes small, precise corrections that force both fighters to keep recalculating. Below, the sea flashes in long bands of light. Above it, the airspace is closing in. The first Iranian jet slides in again, cutting across the F-35's front quarter in a deliberate display of proximity. The move is controlled but openly aggressive. Close enough to see clearly through the canopy. Close enough to demand a reaction. The F-35 gives them nothing they can use. Aircraft on guard frequency maintains safe separation from U.S. military aircraft. Control transmits again, flat and clear. Unsafe approach, break offset. This time, a reply comes back. Brief, accented, deliberately vague. American aircraft, you are near restricted zone. Turn away. No argument follows, no back and forth. Only the reality of speed, distance, and timing. Control, Ghost 1, guard response received. They are not breaking. Ghost 1, control, copy, continue monitor. Picture support tightening. The words come quickly, but their meaning is exact. The network is closing around the encounter. The second Iranian fighter drops lower than before, working toward the F-35's right side, while the first remains forward left. It is not a perfect bracket, but it is close enough to divide attention. One aircraft applies visual pressure, the other shapes the escape lane. Disciplined two-ship tactics. The pilot shifts the F-35's nose by only a few degrees, then trims altitude by the smallest margin, just enough to disrupt closure timing. From the outside, it would be nearly invisible. Inside the fight, it changes everything. The jet on the left commits to another close pass. This one is tighter. It slices across with greater closure, then climbs slightly through the F-35's forward arc, forcing a decision window that lasts less than a second. Too much response, and he drifts into the second aircraft's geometry. Too little, and he gives away distance. The pilot answers with timing and restraint. One measured bank, one controlled throttle correction, one clean reposition. Nothing wasted. Ghost 1, control. Good correction. Second contact still right side. Narrowing. The warning tone pulses again, then drops, then returns. They are cycling modes, testing, probing, searching for a stable track and a predictable reaction. At the same time, whether they mean to or not, they are feeding the F-35 a steady stream of information. Closure patterns, radar timing, approach discipline, coordination. The pilot does not say any of it out loud. He just flies. Now, the second Iranian fighter becomes the more dangerous one. It drops lower, nearly level, and starts angling inward as if to force a crossing point directly ahead. The first aircraft drifts wider after its pass, but remains close enough to re-enter quickly. Ghost 1, coordinated pressure confirmed, Control says. Do not overcommit left. Repeat, do not overcommit left. The warning arrives exactly on time. The pilot had already seen it. The first jet is the distraction. The second is trying to cash in on it. He ignores the instinct to chase the closer aircraft and keeps the F-35 centered on the larger geometry. Nose steady, bank shallow, speed controlled. That is the difference between reacting to a maneuver and understanding the plan behind it. The right side contact commits. Its nose tightens. closure builds. The spacing collapses until the encounter stops looking like intimidation and starts looking like the setup for something worse. An unsafe cut, a forced overshoot, a mistake at high speed. Ghost 1, hard spike right side. Control calls. The pilot moves at once. He rolls and shifts vector with sudden precision. Not dramatic, not violent, just enough to break the line the Iranian jet is trying to build. The F-35 slips out of the trap before it can fully take shape. The Iranian aircraft flashes through the space it was trying to own and is forced to correct. A small correction, but unmistakable. Control, Ghost 1, right side contact check line. Ghost 1, control, copy, we see it. The first Iranian fighter surges back in from the left, trying to restore pressure before the picture can settle. For a moment, all three aircraft are close enough, fast enough, and offset enough that every second feels borrowed. Then the new voice returns to the net. The same calm tone as before, now closer, clearer, more direct. Ghost 1, friendly element is on your 6 at range. Continue your line. We have the outer picture. The F-35 pilot does not look back. He doesn't have to. The Iranian pilots still haven't seen the entire picture. The jet on the left starts another assertive run, its nose easing inward. The warning tone rises again, and now it no longer feels like a warning. It feels like a countdown. This time, the tone lingers a fraction longer, cuts out, then returns in short, uneven bursts. To anyone outside the cockpit, it would sound like random noise. To the pilot, it is a pattern. Something out there has changed. He keeps the F-35 on a controlled line, nose steady, bank shallow, forcing the geometry to shift around him instead of collapsing straight onto him. The Iranian fighter on the left remains the obvious threat, pressing in and sliding across his forward quarter. The second aircraft is farther out to the right now, but it has not backed off. It stays wider and lower, working to build a fresh angle. Ghost 1, control. We are seeing mode changes. Continue hold, do not chase. Ghost 1 copies. Holding. The pilot's eyes move between the sky and the displays with a rhythm that feels almost mechanical. Outside, he reads shape and speed. Inside, he reads intent. The F-35's picture is no longer showing only where the aircraft are. It is showing what they are trying to do. Search, track, reposition, probe, then come back in. The fighter on the left closes fast again, then checks just enough to stay clear of a collision path. A deliberate pressure pass. The jet on the right waits a moment longer than expected. That delay matters. Control, Ghost 1. Right contact lagging, left contact pressing alone. Ghost 1, control, copy. Right contact likely rebuilding. Maintain your energy. The pilot does not answer immediately. He is already doing exactly that. No dramatic climb, no sharp defensive spiral. He keeps speed in the aircraft, altitude disciplined, turn rate ready. In a close intercept, energy means time, and time means options. The tone pulses from the left again, then almost on top of it comes a second pulse from the right. Offset, sequenced, coordinated. They are trying to split his attention at the exact moment one of them commits. The pilot nudges the F-35 a few degrees and drops slightly, just enough to alter closure timing without signaling urgency. The move is small, but the effect is immediate. The jet on the left has to correct its nose position to stay relevant. The one on the right loses the cleaner crossing window it was building. Ghost 1, good shift, Control says. You just disrupted both tracks. The left side fighter turns back in, more aggressive than before, pushing closer to the F-35's forward arc. It wants a reaction, a sharp break, a mistake. It gets none of that. The pilot's hands stay calm. His corrections are exact, almost minimal. Every movement is meant to preserve his options while denying the Iranian pilots a stable picture. He is not flying away from them. He is flying through their timing. Ghost 1, additional friendly track approaching outer ring, the calm voice from earlier says as it returns to the net. You are covered high aft. High aft. The pilot registers it and keeps flying. He still does not look back. The fighter on the right commits again. This time it comes in lower and faster, nose angled to force a crossing line ahead of the F-35. The left side aircraft stays close enough to keep visual pressure on him, filling the canopy while the other tries to shape the geometry. Classic split pressure. Ghost 1, right contact tightening now, Control warns. Recommend hold center line. Do not bite on left. The pilot holds. That restraint is the decision. The aircraft on the left flashes closer now. Close enough that markings and canopy shape become visible for an instant before it drifts across. It is trying to become the obvious threat. The obvious threat is rarely the real one. The pilot keeps his eyes outside just long enough to confirm spacing, then returns to the fused picture. The fighter on the right is the one building toward the dangerous crossing point. Faster closure, better angle, less margin. The warning tone hardens. Ghost 1, hard spike right, hard spike right. He moves before the call is even finished. A clean roll, a precise vector change, a slight altitude adjustment. Not enough to look dramatic. More than enough to break the Iranian pilot's timing. The fighter on the right overshoots the line it wanted and has to correct its nose. The jet on the left, expecting a stronger break, arrives a fraction late into empty geometry. For the first time since the encounter began, both Iranian aircraft are reacting to him at the same time. Control, Ghost 1, they're out of sync. Ghost 1, control. Copy out of sync, we confirm. Continue pressure neutral posture. Pressure neutral posture. No escalation, no ustupka, just control. The tone pulses again, weaker now, then drops out for a beat. Outside, the fighter on the left climbs slightly and drifts wider. The aircraft on the right extends just enough to rebuild spacing. They are still there, still dangerous, but the rhythm has changed. They pushed, they tested. They came close to shaping the intercept, now they are the ones recalculating. Ghost 1, be advised, friendlies are now on station, the outer voice says, calm as ever. Repeat, friendlies on station. You are no longer alone in the inner picture. The pilot says nothing. He does not need to. Ahead and to the left, one Iranian fighter turns back in as if it wants one more chance to test the line. The second remains wider, slower to commit. The countdown feeling inside the cockpit is gone now. What replaces it is colder than urgency. The balance has shifted, and for the first time in the encounter, that shift is not working in Iran's favor. The left side fighter comes in anyway, fast, nose easing inward, trying to reclaim the pressure lane before the picture can settle. The second jet stays wider out to the right, slower now, still present but no longer moving in sync. It is a small split. In an intercept like this, small is enough. Ghost 1, control. Left contact re-engaging. Right contact holding wide. We still have you covered. Ghost 1 copies. The F-35 pilot holds the jet level for one more beat, reading closure and angle, then makes a measured correction that feels almost too calm for the moment. He is not trying to win a chase. He is shaping space. Below, the sea stretches like a sheet of hard blue under the morning light. Above it, 3 aircraft compress toward another decision point. The Iranian fighter on the left commits harder than before. It cuts in with greater closure, crossing toward the F-35's forward arc and creating a narrow window where any overreaction could open exactly the lane the second aircraft has been trying to build the entire time. The pilot gives them nothing. He rolls just enough, then changes vector with sudden authority. Clean, exact, controlled. The F-35 slips off the line the Iranian pilot was trying to hold. The move is not violent, it is decisive. The Iranian fighter cuts through empty geometry. Too close to call routine. Too deliberate to call accidental. Control, Ghost 1, left contact checked. Ghost 1 control, copy, left contact checked. Right contact still outside, not committing. Not committing, that is new. The aircraft on the right had spent the entire encounter building pressure, probing, tightening, looking for the crossing lane. Now it hangs back a moment too long, almost as if it is waiting for the left side fighter to restore the rhythm. But the rhythm is gone. The first fighter climbs slightly and drifts wider, trying to reset. The F-35 stays centered. No chase, no lunge, no flash of aggression. That restraint changes the shape of the entire encounter. If the pilot had gone after the jet on the left, the aircraft on the right might have rebuilt the bracket. Instead, he holds the middle and denies both of them the geometry they need. Ghost 1, continue pressure neutral posture, Control says. Friendlies are in the outer ring. Do not overextend. A new transmission follows immediately, calm and closer than before. The same voice that entered earlier, but now with less distance between the words and the action behind them. Ghost 1, friendly element is high and aft. We have visual on both Iranian aircraft. Continue your line. The pilot answers with a single click. Ahead, the left side fighter turns back again. One more push. This time, the move is sharper, more direct, less patient. It feels like a final attempt to force a reaction before the window closes. The warning tone rises, brief but hard. Ghost 1, spike left. The pilot moves at once, but not away. He shifts angle, preserves energy, and denies nose alignment in one smooth motion, turning the Iranian approach into another failed line. The F-35 stays just outside the geometry the fighter needs, forcing the Iranian pilot to carry speed into a correction instead of a controlled pressure pass. The correction is visible. A nose check, a slight climb, a drift outward, small movements, a clear message. Control, Ghost 1, left contact braking line. Ghost 1, control, we confirm. Right contact turning cold, stand by. Right contact turning cold. The words flatten the airspace. The fighter on the right, which had spent the whole encounter trying to shape the dangerous geometry, rolls out and begins opening distance instead of closing it. Not a panicked break. not a collapse. A deliberate disengagement. The left side aircraft hesitates. It is still close enough to posture, but now it is alone inside the pressure lane. For a second, it holds. Then control transmits on guard, firmer than before, each word spaced with intention. Aircraft conducting unsafe maneuvering near U.S. military aircraft. Break away immediately. You are being monitored. No threat, no raised voice, no argument. Just record, control, and consequence. The left side fighter banks away harder than the aircraft on the right, more visible, more abrupt. Inside the F-35 cockpit, the warning tone disappears. No lock, no pulse, only engine noise, breathing, and radio traffic. The pilot does not relax. He scans left, then right, then forward, checking for a late turn back in, a re-entry line, a feint. The F-35 stays steady. Nose disciplined, speed controlled. Somewhere behind him, still beyond visual range, friendly aircraft hold the outer picture and close the door without moving into the center. Ghost 1, control. Both Iranian contacts are opening distance. Repeat, both contacts opening distance. Maintain track, do not pursue. Ghost 1 copies, maintaining track, no pursuit. There is no victory in the cockpit, no release of tension, no celebration on the net, not yet. The encounter is not over until the distance is real. The fighter on the left keeps opening the distance, then starts to climb. The jet on the right stays wider and colder, no longer trying to rebuild the bracket. The coordinated pressure that defined the encounter only moments ago is gone. They pushed one step too far, and the F-35 never gave them the opening they were trying to create. Ghost 1. The calm outer voice returns one last time. Friendlies remain on station. We're recording everything. The pilot keeps his course over open water while the Iranian aircraft drift farther into the haze, shrinking against the horizon. They have backed away, but the Navy is still watching. The F-35 holds steady over the sea, nose level, altitude controlled, as both fighters continue to widen the gap. One climbs through a thin layer of haze. The other remains lower and farther out, no longer shaping angles, no longer pressing forward. The pressure that defined the last several minutes has faded, but the pilot still treats the airspace as active, because it is. Ghost 1, control. Both contacts increasing separation. No recommit observed at this time. Maintain track. Ghost 1 copies. Maintaining. His hands stay light on the controls. No turn after them. No pursuit. No sudden shift in profile. The aircraft remains composed exactly as it did at the most dangerous point of the encounter. That matters. Discipline after contact is still part of the contact. The warning tone does not return. Inside the cockpit, the sound has changed now. Engine, airflow, brief radio traffic. The pilot's breathing settling back into a controlled rhythm. Outside, the sea moves below in long bands of reflected light, calm and indifferent to everything that just unfolded above it. Then the second voice returns to the net, the same calm tone that appeared at the critical moments. Ghost 1, friendly element remains high aft. We have visual separation on both Iranian aircraft. Outer ring is secure. The pilot answers with a short acknowledgement. Nothing more. He scans left, then right, then checks the displays. The fused picture is cleaner now. The two Iranian tracks are still there, still monitored, but their behavior has changed. No tightening closure, no coordinated shaping, no repeated attempts to build another crossing angle. They are leaving. Control, Ghost 1. Confirm no weapons release. Confirm no damage. Aircraft responding normal. Ghost 1, control. Copy all. No weapons release. No observed damage. Continue mission profile. No weapons release. That phrase sits at the center of the entire encounter. No launch, no gunfire, no debris falling into the water. But that does not make what happened small. The line between pressure and disaster was crossed and recrossed in seconds, measured in closure rates, nose angles, and decisions made under stress. The pilot made none of the choices the Iranian fighters were trying to force. That is why he is still online. Ghost 1, control. Log time, mark. Unsafe intercept behavior recorded. Mode shifts recorded. Approach sequencing recorded. Ghost 1 copies. Logging. This is the part no one sees from outside the cockpit. Not the close pass, not the warning tone. Not the split-second corrections. The record, radar behavior, timing, coordination patterns, which aircraft pressed first, which one rebuilt spacing, which one turned cold, how long the locks held, when the formation lost sync. In modern air encounters, data is not an afterthought. Data is what matters after the aircraft separate. The F-35 continues on heading while the two Iranian fighters fade into distant shapes near the haze line. Behind and above, friendly aircraft remain in the outer ring, holding the wider picture without turning the moment into a chase. The network stays intact all the way through disengagement. Ghost 1, control. Contacts continue outbound. You are clear to resume planned track. Maintain monitor. Ghost 1 copies. Resuming planned track. The words are simple. Their meaning is not. Only minutes earlier, the encounter had been tightening toward a dangerous edge. Two aircraft coordinating pressure against a single F-35 over open water, lock warnings stacking, angles narrowing, margin shrinking. The pilot did not break the wrong way. He did not overcommit to the obvious threat. He did not hand them a clean, predictable line. And when the pressure peaked, the support picture was already in place. No drama on the radio, no speech, no celebration. Just training, timing, and control. That is what changed the encounter. The F-35 banked slightly back onto its planned route, the movement smooth enough to look routine from a distance. It is not routine. It is controlled recovery, an aircraft returning to mission after a live, unsafe intercept without losing structure. Ghost 1, the calm outer voice says one final time. Friendlies remain on station. We'll hold the outer picture. Ghost 1 copies. Appreciate the cover. A rare extra word. Then the radio settles again. Ahead, open water. Behind, two fighters that pressed hard, tested the limit, and backed off when the geometry stopped belonging to them. No shot, no explosion. Nothing visible from the sky that would tell the full story, but the message was still delivered. In the end, this encounter was not decided by who got closest first. It was decided by who stayed in control when the spacing collapsed. And when the lock warnings came over open water, the F-35 held the line.